Welcome back. I'm Scott Allen Miller, and this is Sam IT, and today we're going to talk about what is the cloud. So, a number of years ago, roughly 2002, Amazon came up with this amazing thing called cloud computing. After cloud computing became really important, it came out that it was kind of too technical for most people to understand, but this new cloud computing thing was really important and everyone wanted to be involved. Because of this, everybody started using the term cloud to mean something simple instead of something complex. Because you see, cloud computing was new and literally something we didn't have before. It wasn't built off of really magical technology, but it was an application in a way that had never been done previously, or at least not that anyone had patented or whatever. So it was named and it was a new thing and it was complex. People in general, especially in normal IT circles, are not used to dealing with provisional APIs, and that made cloud computing simply too complex for the average person to discuss. So what did they do? They took the very, very common and straightforward term hosted and used cloud to mean that. Hosted had been a major thing for decades, and especially since the mid-90s with the takeoff of web technologies, hosted services and hosted applications had already become an established thing that everybody understood. But saying something was hosted wasn't cool or interesting, so people started using this new term, cloud, to mean this really simple thing they already understood. In this way, everybody could say that they were working with cloud even though they didn't know what cloud computing even was. Handy, sort of, but this led to an insane amount of confusion and made it very hard for cloud computing to get traction because people started making ridiculous claims like that the cloud just means someone else's computer. Which it doesn't even mean. It means hosted, which doesn't mean someone else's computer. If you put your own servers in co-location, is that someone else's computer? Of course not. But is it hosted? It is. So cloud doesn't even mean the really ridiculous window cling sticker thing that people like to put everywhere. And so it's moved from being a technical thing with cloud computing to being a ridiculous attempt to get to use cool buzzwords with hosted to now it's just an incorrect meme that doesn't accurately reflect either of those things. But people have glommed onto this new window cling thing, and you can see that there's a single really popular meme that's in like turquoise and has a picture of a cloud and it says, "There's no cloud, there's only someone else's computer." But that's not what it means. It doesn't mean someone else's computer. It means systems that are hosted that you access over the internet. That's the incorrect term, cloud, but the one that has been used to mean hosted. You can tell when people are talking about it because they say the cloud or cloud systems instead of cloud computing. People who mean cloud computing have figured out that they pretty much always have to say cloud computing. They can't just say the cloud because that doesn't tell people that they know what they mean, and given that 99% of people use the term completely incorrectly, they've had to work around this completely ridiculous misuse of things. Unfortunately, because so many people don't realize that there's actually cloud computing, this has actually become a problem in IT, even after nearly 20 years, I guess at the point 15 years, with cloud computing being so important and so critical to the industry, and so just everywhere, and yet if someone tries to talk about cloud computing, almost instantly somebody will get involved and try to get their voice heard with, nah, there's no such thing as the cloud, and so there's only someone else's computer, which is completely wrong. Cloud computing is just as likely to be your computer as someone else's. It's just as likely to be hosted as not hosted. Your cloud could be sitting inside your building, completely managed and owned by you. None of the trite little memes and phrases and little just things we throw out there about cloud refer to cloud computing. They all refer to, in some way, hosting, and mostly just misconceptions about hosting, which makes it that much worse. So that's what the cloud is. It's just systems available over the internet. They may be your computers or someone else's. They may be cloud computing. They may be not cloud computing. But using the term the cloud simply means hosted, and if you want to communicate well with other people, never say the cloud, always say hosted systems and convey exactly what you mean instead of leaving them wondering if you meant to convey something technical or if you just used a term and weren't sure what it meant. Unfortunately, that's where terms like the cloud have gone. You can never use a term like the cloud, even if you know exactly how to use it. The moment you've used it, you've put everyone who listens to you in a position of being unsure if you knew or not what it was you were saying. But if you say hosted, they will know instantly that you mean exactly what you intend, and they'll be able to work with that information accurately. The upside is that there's no need to ever say the cloud because we have pre-existing, very accurately understood terms that convey exactly what is needed to know. Remember to like and subscribe, and as always, comments below, and you can support us on Patreon. A little bit goes a long way, especially as we do pump out a lot of material, but it takes a lot of effort to make these and a lot of time, and I hope that this is valuable for IT education and to people in the industry, and you can show your support on that site with the link below. Thanks. Talkadillo is a cloud-hosted or fully managed on-premises IP PBX platform providing businesses with simple and simply affordable voice communications. Visit Talkadillo.com and learn more about how Talkadillo can change how you view your telephones and help to support SAM IT.